Did y'all know Martin Luther King Jr.'s mother was assassinated and the killer wasn't who you'd expect? This is the untold story of Alberta King's tragic death, a story you were never taught in school. On June 30th, 1974, Alberta King, the mother of civil rights icon Martin Luther King Jr., was shot and unalived while playing the organ at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta. The shooter was a 23-year-old man named Marcus Wayne Chenault. But here's what makes this story even more shocking. Chenault wasn't just a random attacker or a white supremacist. He was a black Israelite, a member of a religious group that believes African Americans are the true descendants of the ancient Israelites. Chenault claimed he was on a mission from God to unalive MLK Sr., whom he saw as a false prophet for teaching Christianity instead of Hebrew Israelite beliefs. When he arrived at the church that day, he couldn't find MLK Sr., so he turned his gun on Alberta King instead. Chenault later said he believed unaliving her will wake up the black community to what he saw as their true identity. This tragedy happened just 6 years after Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, adding another layer of pain to the King family. But here's something else you probably didn't know. Chenault wasn't just targeting Alberta King. He also shot and unalived the church deacon, Edward Boykin, and a church member, Jimmy Mitchell, during the attack. Mrs. King was taken to the nearby Grady Memorial Hospital, where officials say she was barely alive on arrival. Chenault was eventually subdued by other church members and arrested and taken to the same hospital as his victims to be examined before being taken to jail. Inside Chenault's apartment, officials found a list of 10 names that he intended to unalive, along with Reverend Abernathy, Aretha Franklin, and civil rights leader Jesse Jackson were among the names on what he called the death list. According to the New York Times, police also found an unused bus ticket to Chicago, where Jesse Jackson lived. Written on the ticket was Father's Day Massacre canceled. On July 9, 1974, Marcus Wayne Chenault was indicted by a Fulton County grand jury for the unaliving of Mrs. Alberta King and Deacon Edward Boykin for aggravated assault for the shooting of Mr. Jimmy Mitchell, for carrying a pistol without a license, and for carrying a concealed weapon. Marcus was found guilty on all charges and sentenced to death by electric chair. During his trial, he showed no remorse and even said he wished he could have unalived more people. While in Grady Hospital, Marcus was examined for 7 hours. He was determined